So trend 5, customer relationships first, social channel last. Here we see an evolution of the brand and consumer relationship. I kind of touched on this earlier. We see this old school TV model where you had a one-way channel that you advertise on, a TV, and then you have an advertisement commercial on it. Then we see people take the same mindset, advertisers did, and they just put it on Facebook. So Facebook is a two-way social channel, but they just thought about advertising the way they did on TV on it, and they just broadcasted one-way message, didn't listen to the consumers at all. And then they realized, as they matured, we need to actually listen and have an authentic dialogue with consumers, and this is where a lot of companies are at today. And this is considered to be like enlightened engagement, and this is good. But the next step we'll see is to have crowdsourcing and really be able to scale social efforts by allowing consumers to interact with each other. And I'll explain more what I mean by that in a minute. So to get into this, the biggest risk to your marketing campaign is that you don't own Facebook, and you have to play by their rules. And some of the rules, for example, are edge rank. So you can spend money and time and effort building a community on Facebook, and then when you put out a post, you may not be able to reach all of them because edge rank has determined that your posts aren't relevant enough to these consumers within your fan base. And so you have no control over that. You have to play by Facebook's rules. So these are things that that are challenges with using Facebook. But the real relationships transcend the platform. So if you have a real relationship with your consumer, rather than just having a nameless followers that you don't know, the ROI is far better, from real relationships. People that you interact, you know what they like, you know how to produce something that is relevant and engaging to them, and that they'll respond to, something that they feel like you're talking right to them. This is where you'll see a bigger return. So this approach to actually building relationships will work on Facebook, and it'll work on any other platform, and this is something that's going to become even more important in the future in 2013. So starting with having real relationships will fan into enabling you to be able to get your customers to actually do some of your work for you. We see a great example with Starbucks being able to do this, where they actually have created their own custom social channel or social platform to be able to collect new ideas from their customers. Everything from what kind of cappuccinos they sell to what should the atmosphere look like, what should the ordering and payment and pickup process be, to their corporate social responsibility. And they could have done this on Facebook, but this allows them to really enhance engagement, improve the quality of their ideas, because consumers can see other ideas that are posted, and it's really catered to this niche community, to this niche need. And I think we're going to see a lot more custom platforms coming up, but I'll touch on that in a little bit. The crowdsourcing here is what's really interesting. And then you can empower your best customers to speak on your behalf. Everyone knows about this concept when it comes to evangelizing, but there's a huge opportunity when it comes to responding to crises as well, where if there's a problem or something, that oil spill example, or that's not the best example, but there's some sort of a challenge or a crisis that your brand encounters, you have your customers going to bat for you because you have a strong relationship with them, you've empowered them, you've enabled them to respond, and then they kind of protect you. They come back before you even get a chance to sometimes and respond to the other customers, and that's a lot more authentic and it's a lot more credible than you coming back, because they're unbiased. They're not getting paid by your company, so their opinion, there's a lot more points for their opinion basically. And the other point of relationships is being able to not just build a relationship with your customers, but to allow them and facilitate them building a relationship with each other. That's going to be a huge growth opportunity in the future to again drive engagement. Consumers, there's a whole group of consumers that are looking for building relationships with other people. So that's a gamification concept I'll touch on in a minute, but that's a big opportunity. And this is also how you become efficient and you can scale. And I just took a class in Coursera, which is an online class, and it had about 90,000 students in it. You talk about a large class size. And imagine if 10% of them, say 9,000 of them, had one question that they emailed the professor. There'd be no way for the professor to respond to 9,000 emails. So they built a forum where students can ask questions, and then other students can respond with answers or feedback, or and be able to let the people help the people, so the professor doesn't have to tie up all of their time doing it. So this allows you to scale from 30 kids in the classroom to 90,000 kids in the classroom, or people in this case in the classroom. And this is how you scale social media. You can't have a one-to-one relationship with everyone that interacts with your brand and scale. You can't hire enough community managers to be able to do that. So this is how you can become not only efficient but also scale, become really big. So this is another visual depiction where you still interact with your new and your potential customers, but there's also an opportunity where just your customers handle some of that interaction, and you're able to monitor and kind of keep track and still be the authentic source, but there's an opportunity for your customers to be able to kind of do some of the work for you. So here's a traditional marketing funnel where you have a felt need, which leads to awareness, which leads to trial, evaluation, and purchase. And this is where a lot of people stop. And there's a huge missed opportunity to be able to follow up after they've made the purchase. This is where the huge opportunity for marketing is in 2013, is not before the purchase but after it. So do you support your products? Do you have a social relationship with them afterwards? Do you continue that relationship? Do you encourage and enable them to evangelize? Do you measure that sentiment? Do you get new ideas for products? And CRM is a way to do this using things like Salesforce, which is basically customer relationship management. And this ties back into the marketing funnel, because if someone sends out a negative tweet about your product, that's going to substantially hurt the inflow of new customers that start to come down that pipeline and that funnel back at the top again. So this is a marketing problem, not just a business problem. And I got a lot of inspiration and some ideas and some research from a lot of these people on here, and I want to make sure I give them credit for the stuff that they're doing. And if you have any questions, please let me know on any of the social channels, or you can go ahead and give me a call or email me if you would like as well. And my Twitter handle there is mrobertsonline. You can find my blog at allegoredesign.com, or find me on LinkedIn. And all my other social channels you can find on my blog. So hope that was helpful. Again, my name is Mike Roberts. I would look forward to interacting with you, and look forward to 2013. Let me know what you think about this.